I find my theme song. I could not. It's the craziest thing. So I mean, yeah, it's the craziest thing, bro. I tried my best. There's nothing I could do about that.
Right.
So we're live right now. Um, we're going hard. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up. I got 53%. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on live. Tell them I'm live right now. I got folks. Let me see. All right. This is, I'm telling you, something always comes up, you know?
Oh, trust me, I know. Shoot, me trying to get on just now, I had to go through a whole bunch of stuff to get this thing right.
Yeah, man. I got a lot of people looking at this. All right. So this is the season 2 kickoff, man. Welcome everybody of Live Your Truth. I got my man Derek Colors. We did a very, very important podcast together about fathers and about manhood. It was really important. Why black men aren't marrying black women. When I sent you that message, what did you think, sir? Fireworks?
Well, I mean, it's a reality. So I felt like it would be a good topic to discuss. I've heard so many different people's opinion that I just kind of felt like from everything I've been hearing, I would give some of the things that I feel like why black men are not marrying black women.
All right. So I'm live over there, right there on. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and bust a live over here on Instagram, on Facebook for a second. It's really all good, but I'm just gonna try to give it a shot. See what I can get going over here. All right. So Taibu Muad'Dib, man, the host with the most. Chrissy Love is in the house. She's joined us over here. Miss Deidre Townsend. Shout out to everybody, man, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I have my special guest, Mr. Derek Colors. I asked a couple of you if you'd like to join Mr. Derek Colors. The fact that you're here, sir, tonight means that you care about the black community. I can't wait until I do my next motivational speaking extravaganza. I'm definitely going to have you come out there and talk to folks. As I begin to speak and coach more often, I need that. Make sure I have good connections like Mr. Colors, who had his time in the league and his time in the community, his time as a family man. So we're really looking to hear from what Mr. Colors has to add. But first, this podcast is being brought to all of us courtesy of First Step Coaching. I am an online coach. I am a life coach. It's a transitional thing. A life coach helps you transition from one phase of your life to the next. Is that not true, Mr. Colors?
Yes, it's very true. That's why they call it a life coach, because you definitely want to be able to coach people on how to live a better life. I have topics about how to become a better man that we'll get to maybe today, if not at another time. But it's all about learning life. Life is something that you have to learn yourself and pass it down to your children. And it's supposed to go from generation to generation. But I think that people are not learning life. And this is why life is so bad for so many people.
Ooh, that's a toughie. I'll ding that. All right. Tonight, I want to dive kind of right in here. I asked you a question a few minutes ago, and I can see it kind of took you aback. But when you hear a podcast topic, why black men are not marrying black women, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Okay. And you got, all of you felt the same way. So let's break it down. I asked for your top 3 reasons in all your own opinion. What is your top? I'm gonna ask you, sir. Are you married now?
Not now.
Okay, you're not married, but you've been married before.
Yes.
Okay. So now divorced. I've been married before. I'm divorced. I'm a divorcee. So what are, in your opinion, if there were reasons, what would your top 3 reasons be, sir, for why black men are not marrying black women? Go.
I can't really give an opinion on what people do. All I can see is the statistics on how it's happening. I don't know why it's not happening per se, but again, I have a lot of knowledge from talking to different people. So, giving my opinion from what I'm hearing and from my own experiences is, I think that a lot of black women don't want to be led. They say they want to be led, but as soon as a man starts telling them things to do and how to do it and why to do it, they rebel. They feel like you're trying to control them. That's one reason.
Now
Another
look,
reason,
let's take that. Now, what if join us over here on YouTube if you want to get the picture in picture and see Mr. Colors, or just continue to enjoy me on Facebook and on TikTok. If your comment is that what you've been hearing is that black women don't want to be led, right? That's why I hear you saying. So I'll go first. I listed and posted on Facebook that my top 3 reasons, going from 3 up to number 1, my top 3 reasons as to why black men are not marrying black women, right? Mm-hmm. Number 3, an extremely high body count. An extremely high body count. Black women, all women, but definitely you sisters. Men do not want a HOE, whatever you want to call it. Men do not want it. And you can't tell any man that if you've had physical intimacy with someone, with 10 or more men, you can't convince that man that you're not a HO or HOE. You can't convince him of that. That's the bottom line. Because I did my own podcast research, and everybody, to a man, that was a man, said 10 or under, the median being 5. So ladies, young ladies especially, if you want to be considered a high quality black woman, you can't have more than 10 bodies. You can't. And not expect to be treated like the queen that you believe you are. All right. So to your comment about black women not wanting to be led, maybe that's because black women, you have been soul tying and soul connecting with so many men, blacker and otherwise, that now when a man wants to come and establish a relationship with you, you aren't trying to hear it. All right. That could be the case. That's 3. Write it down. That's 3 for me. Number 2.
Before you go to number 2,
go ahead.
I kind of want to not be so hard on a black woman when it comes to that.
Because I'm gonna come for the men.
Well, I'm not even talking about the blame as far as the men or the women. I think that most men and women don't discuss their body counts. So I don't believe men are not marrying black women because of high body count, because a lot of times men are asking the women, how many men you slept with? And she's not asking him. You just notice that they've been in different relationships, and a lot of relationships, because of the damage that's been done to their psychological thinking. But I think if a man knew a woman's body count, yeah, that's a big no-no. He's not like, I don't want to be with a woman who's been with that many men. But again, realistically, how many women have you dated and you actually asked them, what's your body count?
Now, okay, so but we're talking on this show about why black men aren't marrying the black woman. Mm-hmm. The dating, of course, we all gonna play. I'm not knocking that. We all gonna play. But what I'm saying is, if you want to move from being that woman that's being dated by a black man to being married by a black man, take Coach Taibu. The book is out. Coach Taibu's Winning Strategies. If you haven't seen the book on Amazon, go get it right now while I'm talking. I'm telling you right now, it's not a winning strategy to give your body and your virtue away, ladies, to more than 10 men and try to ask a man to put a ring on it. It's not acceptable to the men that you're asking. Seriously. But I want to continue to get to my top 3 because everybody does. And I have Chrissy Love on here. She says, she commented that black people in general are over-sexualized. I told her absolutely. Sweet Pea Twerks. She says, hopefully no young black men isn't listening to this BS. Now, there's a lot going on there for Sweet Pea Twerks, but I hope what she's trying to say is that she hopes young black folks is listening to this conversation that two experienced professional black men are having about why black men are not marrying a black woman. All right, needs to be talked about, and I'm not going to play no games with anybody tonight. I reserve the right to live my truth, and I want you all to feel open to living yours. All right. So we have folks,
and I would like to address Sweet Pea Twerks. I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but just the name twerking, like that's not a classy name to name yourself if you want some man to see you as valuable. You don't want to see your woman name Sweet Pea Twerks. But at the same time, I don't understand why it's difficult for black women. This is one of the reasons why I think black men don't marry black women is you cannot give your opinion without being judged, and people hear your opinions and think that, okay, I respect your opinion. I may not agree, but I respect your opinion. To call what we're saying BS and hope no one listens to us is pretty much you haven't even heard all of the discussion to say you don't want men to listen. As a black man who raised family, I got a family who raising my children right. A lot of people come to us, you and I, about how to handle life. So if you don't feel like this is valuable before you even hear anything, this is why you don't learn. Because you're closing your mind to something just because people don't have your same opinion. So I disagree with you saying you hope no black men are listening, because if they're not, it's a shame because we have a lot of knowledge to do it.
And we're going to apply that. I just want you guys to know what you're missing. Follow me over here on YouTube. Watch the full program. Continue to enjoy TikTok, but you just see me. Facebook. If you get over here and subscribe to my YouTube channel, you won't miss any of this goodness because I'm about to dive in. I'm about to dive in. It's not just us. It's not just two guys, who are divorced and from black women. I was married to a black woman. I don't know about you, sir, but I'm just saying it's not just us guys. We're not bitter. We want the community and the culture to get better. So let's talk about stuff that's real. This is Live Your Truth. This is the season 2 kickoff. So if it's going to be some fireworks, that's fine. Now, as far as your twerk conversation, I'm still on 3. As far as your twerk conversation to Miss P, I'm not knocking you for what you want to call yourself, but you have to understand that you will be judged by it. It's not fair. The Bible says don't do it, but you will be judged by it. Number 2, voila, for Miss P Twerks, is popular media. That's why no one's marrying the black woman. No one wants to marry the black, because if you listen to Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, and we know they're just actors and stars and whatever, saying what they want to say. But if you think about it, if I see you on your platform talking about, walking through the club and throwing up my booty hole, you know what I'm saying? If you are purporting this on you, if you're doing a reel with Megan Thee Stallion, talking about I'll tell a man to shut up. What are we doing? And you want a man to marry you? Men, before you even consider dating her seriously, look on her Facebook page. If she's talking about she'll tell a man to shut up and he listens, that's not somebody you want to get connected with. I'm just being real, right? Popular media. Ladies, if you don't agree, don't ride past me bumping it out your window. If you don't agree with that mentality, stop condoning it, enabling it, right? Look, I work for a prestigious car business here in Dallas, and a customer had a little girl with her, and it just so happened on a test drive, Sexy Red came on the radio. Now it was the clean version, if you can call it that. The 4-year-old little girl's in the back seat, word for word. And the women in the car didn't say anything. They didn't ask me to change the station. They didn't tell her to pipe down. None of that stuff. 4 years old she was. So I'm telling you guys, ladies, right now, black women, I'm going to come for the black man in a minute. I'm going to get on the black man in a minute. But this is why we're not marrying you. This is why. An extremely high body count, can't be trusted, right? And number 2, popular media. You are embodying and embracing women who are spitting these verses that are basically saying, I want to trick a man play a man, dog a man, and control a man. All right? And my number one reason is the baggage. Ta-da! Let's go. The baggage. Black women, you have too much baggage. You're not over your exes. You got kids by too many different men, and you're traumatized your whole life and never chose to work on trying to heal yourself. You just have too much baggage. We don't, like, we're not going through stuff. Black men are not marrying you because, and it's not just your baggage, black ladies. Look, I was helping my cousin Fred, who's been married for 25 years. Love him dearly. Love that brother. To his wife. She came on a podcast when they were doing an intervention for me and my girlfriend in our relationship. And the lady said, I get therapy. And she said, I don't want y'all to get it twisted. She said, I get therapy for myself to make sure I'm right for my king. I was like, cuz, I see why you married her. I see why it's working. Are you women willing to work on yourselves to be right for that king? Y'all all in church like, and don't let me get on that. Listening to a black male pastor, but not your black man at home is a huge red flag for me. I gave you my top 3. What do you think about that, Mr. Colors?
Well, I mean, again, everybody's different. I don't completely blame the black women when it comes to that. I truly believe it's deeper than that. I think systematically, the government, the system is designed to break up black families. We got welfare, which is one of the leading causes of breaking up a home because they don't want a black man in the family. You have a lot of women who are damaged as children, and then they grow up and have kids, and as soon as the relationship breaks up or the woman has the child, they give the child to the woman as if the father is not fit. And a lot of women are emotional and they're hurt, and they're raising their sons to be weak, emotional. And these boys are growing up being weak, emotional men who will lead their families because they are weak and emotional. And the cause of it, again, I won't say it's all black women. I'm not saying it's all black men. I do believe there is a governmental system that's put in place to destroy the black family. We are victims of that system, but you don't have to be a victim of that system. If for me, you have a relationship with God and you pray and you talk to God, God will lead you. You don't need to have a system telling you what you can and can't have. You don't need a system to provide for you if you trust that God has you. And that way, if you don't have to depend on a system, you don't have to depend on their rules and what they tell you can and can't do. And so again, I'm not sitting here blaming all black women about not why black men don't marry them for those reasons that you gave. I believe it's a little more different relationship bound of why black men weren't marrying black women at a high rate. I mean, number one, if someone comes up to you and they insult your character, what's going to make you attractive to them that you want to be with them if they already the mother's telling them as children that black man ain't nothing. He's a dog. He's trash. He's not worth anything.
No. Hold on. When y'all hear that sound, that means breaking on down. I agree. I so totally agree. I heard from my mom so much, and don't get me wrong, I watched my dad beat my mom. I'm just saying, but I heard my mom so much lament that there are no good black men. I tried to be one and got played again. Go ahead, talk about it. That's real.
And you know, I will tell you, if we get out of the blame game and just be realistic with ourselves, you will notice that we have control of our lives. No one else does unless we give them that control. I know when I was younger, I did not want to have 2 and 3 girlfriends. I wanted to be with one girl. But as a kid, with life happening, girls cheated. They cheated on me.
Now, okay. Were they black women?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that you were naive and didn't think it was going to happen like that, or you just kind of accepted it as part of the game?
No, as a kid, you don't understand life. That's why I don't let my daughters. I didn't never let my daughters date at a young age. You don't. Your brain's not even fully developed. You
How'd
don't
you stop that?
understand life. Say that again.
How'd you stop? The man just said he didn't let his daughter date at a young age. Shout out to all the dads out there for keeping their daughters focused on the right thing. But how in these days, because black men, listen, want to know how at this day and age were you able to keep, if we can use that word, keep your daughters from dating at a young age?
It's all about being a great father to them and earning their trust and respect from when they're a kid. From 1 year old.
And there it is. And there it is. Now we're getting to the reason, Mr. Derek Colors, if you have a teen girl and she's rambunctious, won't listen, and you believe that she's out, you got to give her condoms to keep her safe or put on birth control. I'm telling you right now, it's probably because there wasn't a father in the home being a great father. Go ahead. Continue, sir.
Yeah. So if you have a plan as a parent, you're a parent for a reason. If God wouldn't have given children parents if children could dictate their own lives. It's our job to train up our children in the way they should go. So when I build my relationship with my daughters by raising them and loving them and teaching them and guiding them, I earn their respect. I earn their love. So they're more willing to listen to me because they know that I love them and that I've always loved them and raised them and taught them. That's all they know. They don't know any different. So when I tell them dating is not good for them, yeah, their emotions may kick in, but at the same time, the respect that we have for each other, they trust me enough to say, okay, Dad.
Okay. So there's that. Now, someone responded to a comment that you made about raising feminine men. Can you see it there?
The parent that stayed is not to blame for feminine men.
This is coming from Chrissy Love. She says the parent that stayed is not to blame. So here we have a situation where I did a podcast, Mr. Colors, and I want everybody to know Coach Taibu did a podcast where I told women, I told them, I said, look, say what you will about relationships. Say what you will about the need for a man in the home, but you do your children a disservice if you don't get yourself together and get a man in that home for them children. I'm just throwing it out there. You can't be like,
how about just stop going out emotionally dating men for his personality or what he has? How about learning how to fall in love with a man who has high character and values, who, when you have a child, he has the value that he knows that no matter what, I love my child and I will always raise them and teach them and guide them. I think having children with men who are not proven that they have high character is why we get into these situations we're discussing today.
So now, to your point, there are many women watching this podcast right now, and they've been tricked just like you got tricked when you was young. Mm-hmm. Because a guy with game comes along, he living with his mom and driving his mom's car, but she don't know because he got game. He keeping her from her. So because he lived with his mom and drives his mom's car, he has a little extra cash to take her and get her a drink, take her to the movies. She don't know he don't got a job. She don't know he live with his mom. So by the time she didn't rowboated with the brother and got feelings for him, all this stuff comes out. You see what I'm saying?
It goes back to the point of me saying, don't let your kids date early. Like,
no. Because they don't understand. These are grown women. I know a woman that met a man on Facebook. He caught a bus up here, and she had a true relationship with him. She just stayed for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that tells me.
Did she date early?
No.
You don't know if she dated when she was young. I'm telling you, the damage is rooted in children. The kids' learning stages are when they're young. They're learning so much. It's not time.
But that's when I go in on the guys. Right now, we have to look at these top 3 reasons men aren't marrying them, but we will definitely get into the guys. That's more for us to come down the lane for the men, because we brothers, we have to be the sister's hero. We have to. Now, comedy break. Look at the the last King Kong movie they made with the white lady. Now she wandered off, fascinated by Kong, into his camp. Kong pick her up, right? Run off with her. Clearly, it was stupidity. It's stupidity. You see a giant gorilla, go the other way. But this white lady was fascinated by this big black monster of a gorilla. And she went to him, right? He picks her up, carries her off. There's one white dude on the boat that says, we can't leave without her. Everybody's like, yes, we can. But the white man hero for the white woman says, no, we cannot leave. We have to go find her. So what I'm saying is that we as brothers cannot look at, I gotta say it, the stupidity, if you will, of a black woman. You can, no matter how you throw it out there, the stupidity. I'm going to show you statistics to show that black women that aspire to be single, stay single, or like he said, date young or whatever, there's stupidity involved in that, whether the man's there or not. But black men, when are we going to decide to be the black woman's hero? So whoever said the parent that stays not to blame for feminine men, to that I say true. Because there's therapy and counseling. There's all kind of resources out there for a couple to work things out for each other and then for the child, right? Too many people have happy feet, and that's you, men, right? But what I'm saying to you, Mr. Colors, is this, that when it comes to the man being in the home, the man has to decide to stay. If the woman is okay with working on herself, that is the handshake agreement we have to have in our community. Black women, we understand the trauma. I have a tech device. You've seen me put this out there, right? You've seen the Guard Me gear, right? I have the Guard Me gear tech device. I have it on GoFundMe. You can go to GoFundMe and donate that. I have posts all over the place. I know from research that the black woman is the most, she's taken advantage of the most out of all different cultures and stuff. She is raped, she's molested, she's taken advantage of in this country. No one deals with sexual crime more than a black woman from day one. So black men, we have to understand that we should be addressing that when we date them. These are questions we have to ask the lady. Have you ever been touched, molested, taken advantage of? Black women, be honest. Talk to them. Okay, well, I think you got good. I like your vibes. I want to date you, but that's something that you would have to deal with before I could take you seriously. Bam! What's wrong with that, Mr. Colors? Talk to me.
I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with questioning people. Like I said, it's about patience, getting to know a person. But it doesn't. If you're not taught, you only can do what you know. Kids are not learning how to date the right way. They're allowed to date when they're 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. What does a kid know about dating? I'm going to keep going back to the beginning, that relationships are built when they're young. If you are 13 years old, you start dating, and by the time you're 17 or 18 years old, you've had, let me say this.
Yep.
You had 7, 8, 9 boyfriends or 7, 8, 9 girlfriends from 13 to 17. What is that teaching you? It's teaching you to leave your relationship, that it's easy to find someone else. So you develop that in your subconscious mind that when something don't go right, I'm just going to go to the next person. And when you get married, people are not fighting for marriages because they're trained to leave relationships that are not comfortable for them.
Okay, that was a huge point. And on that point, let me go to the first screen share. All right, we have a screen share over here from Instagram. You can see it when you come over here and follow me. A screen share. But look, to my brother's point, right? I want to say this to that. If you didn't hear that and you're not watching me, you haven't followed me on you have to follow me on YouTube. You have to become a part of my coaching community. All right. He said that if you let your kids date young, they're used to going through things and moving on. I can respect that. Let's hear from this brother right here, shall we? And see what he has to say. Let's go.
is women are telling a woman, girl, go out and live your life. So she's going to go out and live her life. She's going to fuck 20, 23, 27, 30, 35. Then she's going to get 40 and be like, damn, I want to get married. And the men that wanted you at 20, that want to marry you when you were 20, they no longer want you. They want the younger female. And so now a lot of women are bitter and mean and get on these platforms and get on YouTube. I can't find a man. They ain't shit. They ain't shit because you ain't shit pussy. I'm tired of going to parent-teacher conferences with my son and I'm seeing all these women line up down the hallway stressed out, leaning over on the fucking wall because they don't have no man. They made a mistake 12 years ago, 13 years ago, had a one-night stand after the club, but fucked the dude that they said, oh, I can only just fuck him once. And now we have 70% of black moms that don't have a man, and these boys are being raised by women, and now these women have turned these boys into son husbands, and now
son husbands. My friend Terry, over there, my cousin's ex-husband, he calls them grown boys, son husbands, grown boys. And I'm in a relationship right now where, you know, the person I'm with is doing the same thing, really raising son husbands. Like really, like he went on to say how they don't ask him to do anything. I'll continue to play it, but really, I mean, I'm living through this. No one's talking about it, so Taibu Muad'Dib is talking about it, but I'm living through this.
He's right what he's saying too.
Which part is he right about?
But pretty much everything that he said is and now nothing's 100%. Like I don't want women to think that we're out here women bashing and all black women are bad. There are some good black women out there, but for the most part, because of the damage that's been done to our children, they're growing up living out that damage. And I think that what he's saying is you do see a lot of that in today's society.
Yeah, I mean, so it for me, he, you know, like all his numbers added up for me. Like he literally described the person I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. And I know she's watching. I know she watches skits and stuff like that, but for some reason she's not watching the skits about her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind putting it out there. I'll podcast anything, especially my personal life. It is what it is because I'm a story, right? This is my voice. I get to live my truth on here and can't nobody say nothing about it. I mean, y'all can talk about it, but I mean, if you're perfect, then I guess you shouldn't watch my program. But Mr. Colors, what I want to say is, look at how I saw that, but look at how it plays into my top three: an extremely high body count, popular culture. How he started by saying women are embracing it. You know what I'm saying? He sat there and he said, look, he said, women are their own worst enemies. A woman's best friend is her worst enemy because she's telling girl, go live your life. You know what I'm saying? That's how he started, popular culture. And then the very last one is the baggage. You know what I'm saying? Women these days are raising the men that they don't want to be with or that they can't stand or that tricked them into having them kids in the first place. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. So now, okay, let's switch it around. Let's look at something that makes some sense. All right. I want to screen share the wealth gap between singles and couples because people were like, oh, we don't care. Nobody cares about that. Love who you want to love. I'm gonna play the rest. I'm gonna play the rest of this, but then we'll go to the next one. But I'm going to directly address the folks.
They don't make them clean up. They don't have no structure. They don't go outside and play. They don't do nothing but sit on their asses. And then when they get older, they become the same men that their mamas hate. They're out here being Pookie and Ray Ray fucking all the females, depending on females to take care of them. It's a shame that these boys are being raised by these single moms and they taking up on the feminine characteristics of their fucking mama.
All right. So
that's perfect. That's totally true. That's totally true. I'm not gonna the way he said may be right in the face, but he's right. A woman cannot make a man masculine. And women take on masculine roles that they take on the character of what they think is masculine, but it's really damaging the way they talk, the way they act, the way they don't want to listen to the men, they don't want to support it. And then, like he said, they're raising the men that's coming out being like that. And then they want to blame men for why our black community is like that.
You know, it's almost a stroke of genius that a person can line it up. This is why I coach and I speak, and I want you to trust my coaching program and what I can provide for you. That young man in that Instagram reel is basically saying, you're raising the man that you can't understand. Women are saying, I can't understand why he doesn't want to work, why he doesn't want to have a job, why he can't keep a job. I don't understand why he doesn't want to pay bills with me. I don't understand. You know, you women are raising the man you claim you can't understand. That's Taibu. I'm famous. I'm famous already. That's Taibu. I'm telling you, I'm gonna line these things up for you ladies so you understand. But now you men, I want to challenge all you young men out there with a single mom. It's on you to somehow make yourself accessible to a real man. The first real man I think I was accessible to was my little league football coach. Shout out to Will Boyd Smith in Madison, Wisconsin, and his family. Right? When you see a real man leading young men, when you see him a husband, you see him a father, you see his son respecting him, you may not have that at your home, but you have access to greatness. That is important. I challenge all of you young men. I got two underneath me in this household, and they were trying to kill me. They tried to kill me, tried to have me killed for being a real man. They want the mama. They don't want the real man. Seriously, this real rap. They wanted to have my life taken because I told them we're gonna have structure here now. This is serious. It's happening all over the country. Young people are taking the lives of step parents and parents who are simply trying to raise them right. So I challenge you, young people, make yourself accessible, young men, young black men, to real black men. If there isn't a community resource for you to have access to real black men, you single moms, get them on the coaching program. Don't buy them another video game, buy them my coaching program. I'm going to hold them accountable, give them a 6-month course curriculum, and help them change their mindset about themselves. You were able to establish a relationship with your daughters because you were always there. I entered my daughter's life at a late stage. When I came into my only daughter's life, she was already turning 14. The best I could do, everybody, to do what you got accomplished with yours, to get her over that teenage hump where she's not dating over much, she's not putting her body out there or having kids young. What I did was I convinced her that she should embrace my expectations for her. So you single moms, it's definitely on the man. You didn't make the child by yourself. But you single moms, I challenge you to convince these young men in your home and young women in your home, to convince your children to embrace your expectations. Now, that men is saying that many of you don't have any. You're not expressing any. So then it is all on you. It's just on you. It's not on the man that left you for whatever reason. It's on you to express expectations, get them kids, especially them young men, ready to be husbands and the young ladies ready to be wives. So I embrace that. Now, let me do a screen share because somebody had Chrissy Love said, who is touching little black girls? Chrissy, do your research, and then donate to the Guard Me gear so we can get that thing out onto the market and protect them. Do your research. I can't go deep into that, but do your research. If you don't know, do your research. You can Google it. All right. But let me go over here. Some people were like, love who you want to love and this and that. That's fine. Don't get me wrong. But let's look at single versus in a couple or in a marriage. All right. Let's look at wealth. Let's talk money. I talk money, right? I'm a life coach. Let's talk money for a second. So let me share this with all of you. I want you to know that the facts. Stop watching shows online that don't talk the facts. Mr. Colors, can I give you some facts, sir?
Sure can.
Put some facts in this. I went online and it says the wealth gap between singles and couples. Come over here on YouTube and check this out. The wealth gap between singles and couples. Reading this article from Bustle on money between couples and singles, there's a stat that blew my mind. In 2010, the median income the median net worth of 25 to 34-year-old married couples was 4 times that of single households. By 2019, the difference was nearly 9 times. This disparity is more timely than ever as the single population grows. 40% of the country's population over 18 is unmarried, divorced, or widowed. 46%. So half of us are living a single life. But those who are living a life where they're coupled up or in a marriage, right? Basically a marriage, their wealth is 9 times greater than yours. So if you're struggling to make it as a single person, this podcast is real. Black women, if you're struggling single, stop making excuses to stay single. Get yourself together. Become a Psalm 30, Proverbs 31 woman. Become virtuous. Attract a man that's looking for virtue, not for sex, not for a rest haven to lay his head, for virtue, and get in a relationship because you'll be better off financially and hopefully less stressed because not having money is stressful. But what do you think about this statistic here in this article here, sir?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you got 2 people who working together. And it's not just 2 times as much, because a lot of people say, yeah, you're supposed to make more money if it's 2 people. It's 9 times as much, meaning that because these people are in a couple, they're probably a little more focused on improving their lives instead of just focusing on hanging out, meeting people. They already have a person, so they're able to put their time and energy towards something more productive, which turns out to be 9 times as much as a single person, men or women. So I mean, it makes sense what the article is saying.
Hold on. What my man is trying to let you know. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the phones. Imagine if you got paid and your paycheck, single ladies, was 9 times bigger. Come on now. Talk to him, Mr. Colors. Y'all not talking money. Y'all, what I'm saying is popular. That's why number 2. Mr. Colors, that's why number 2 for me, and the reasons black men aren't marrying black women, number 2 is popular culture. Y'all spending so much time playing around and look at this meme, baby. This meme is funny or something like that. You're not using that phone to build yourself or build your wealth. If a high value black man got with you, what are you gonna do with his money? He's gonna see it by what you're doing with your own. Come on, somebody. This is Coach Taibu. I have winning strategies. I'm gonna put those down tonight. I have winning strategies for you. I'm not just gonna talk about the problem. Michelle Alexander, I love the new Jim Crow. It's a book that every young black man should read. And right behind them, every young black woman should read it too. If you are a black male over 10 years old and you're literate, you have to read the new Jim Crow. You have to. That's a whole different subject as far as politics and law enforcement, stuff like that. But I'm telling you right now, it affects the black family, the nuclear black family. So you have to read it. Women who have young black men, whether you're a white woman with a swirly baby son, all the way to chocolate or Flavor Flavs, make sure your young black man reads that book. So this was a huge issue, the wealth gap between cultures. So one of the things, and I'm going to screen share this, one of the things that we're looking at, can you see this now, sir?
Yeah.
a conversation about the racial wealth gap and how to address it. Now, I found it interesting that as I scroll down through this article, and I'm just going to scroll down through it, it starts talking about the black family versus the white family. So Shapiro brought up a comparative figure to depict the magnitude of the wealth gap. The median, which means the average white family in America, brings in approximately $171,000 in net wealth every year annually, while the median African American family has approximately 17,000. So if you know some black folks that's doing well, there's thousands of black families that's bringing that number down. You can't act like we're as a whole our community isn't poor when it says that the average African American family, the median per year is 17,000. They're saying that's a dime in wealth for every dollar of wealth for the typical white family. And it's saying that wealth begets wealth, but unfortunately, poverty begets poverty. So I did the podcast on sharecropping. You may have seen it, Mr. Carlos. You may not have some on my YouTube page on sharecropping and teaching your children to be sharecroppers. Many of you are sharecropping and don't even know what's happening to you. But if you don't own anything, you're a sharecropper. If you don't own your house, if you don't own a business, you're a sharecropper, and you're going to pass that down to your children. There is no playing the lottery is going to get you out of that. Bottom line. But something on here I was talking about, okay, let me look for it and see. Okay, there it is. So he further alluded to research that has controlled for unequal social origins or differences in education, jobs, income, or family structure. What more evidence do you need, Mr. Colors, that having a family, not being single, getting married is just the best thing for the culture moving forward? How can that not be the case, sir?
Well, I mean, I think that's good for every culture. Having a family and raising your children up right to pass down generational success, character, spiritual growth, finances, everything. Everything is we are creatures of relationships. There is no relationship. There is no growth in society without relationships. And to speak about the wealth gap, I spoke from the beginning, is that systematically they have us in a position that keeps the average black person in poverty. Only way we stay in poverty is if we allow them to keep us in poverty, because information on the internet is available to you. So if you're willing to work hard and learn, get mentors, whatever you have to do, then you don't have to be poor. But there are systems still designed to hold black families down, and I think that affects relationships.
Okay, so let's get real right now. Miss Deidre Townsend says, "So, my friend, I'm not single because I like to be, but what I'm being told is that I'm too independent. I'm not independent. I'm a widow who has to make sacrifices and ends meet up." So what advice are we giving her? She's not single because she likes to be. We don't know what culture she represents. We don't know if she has kids or not. But she's saying that she doesn't want to be single. So what advice do we have for her right now?
Well, to say if you're not independent, then you should. The best way I can put it is, if you're not trying to be independent, then you have to show your trace of being a. And women hate to hear this word. I remember the last time we had
Go ahead, say it.
We talked about submissiveness.
Yeah, the S word.
And I have daughters, and I teach them to be submissive, because submissiveness is really how women get what they want from men. So we have to. I was about saying this because I know people.
No, go ahead. Good point.
But we have to have men who understand that just because you're a leader, it doesn't make you the woman's boss. And men need to have a healthy view of being a leader. But at the same time, a man should be submissive also to God. So if the man is submissive to God, the woman is submissive to the man, the children are submissive to the father and the mother, then that's going to make a family that God meant for it to be. If you have anybody, one of those chains break, it's going to be chaos. So if men can be good leaders, women can be good followers, children can be good followers of the husband and the wife, the mom, the mother, and the father, that's the best way. God says in his own words, not just us out here throwing out rhetoric from the society. It's true. It's true. And I wasn't raised that way to know. That's why I think that I had so many issues of when I was growing up of being cheated on, and I didn't really have a healthy view of relationships because of I'm trying to gauge how to be in a great relationship based off of avoiding the pain that was brought to me, not by my own reasons, but because of another female who she was damaged and she felt like dating other guys was her thing. And it just leads to a long track of damage. So to the woman, Deidre, I guess that's her name, just show signs of wanting to be led. Women always say they want to be led. Then if you truly want to be led, let a man lead. But find out the man's character before you let a man lead you. That's all I can say.
So now I got this shame bag over here. So don't be the season 2 victim, because what I'm hearing right now is when you say men should be submissive to God, since a woman can easily interpret the Bible however she wants to, if you say that to women, they're like, okay, she can hit you over the head with the Bible now. She can just be like, you know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to do this because God don't say it. You know what I'm saying? So when you say the man's supposed to be submissive to God and then she's supposed to be submissive to the man, that's giving her yet another out to not be submissive. So to fall back from that one, I want to also say that when you made a good point about men should be leaders but not be a woman's boss. For me, I don't know a woman, especially no black woman, that wants to be told what to do. So whether he's coming in a spirit of leadership or as her boss, either way is going to get the same pushback. That's why I'm having this show tonight. That's part of the baggage, right? Part of the baggage is, and I'm gonna say this, I don't care what y'all say, and I'm gonna respond to Chrissy because she had a good comment over here. She said that she's been told she's intimidating. So I want to address that. But yeah, right. But what I want to say is this: black women, y'all hear my number one reason is baggage. Black women, your baggage, in my opinion, is the black woman, especially these days, feel entitled to doing what she wants. And when I say that, the black woman has the nerve to go off on people who give her an adverse reaction to what she's doing. She's doing what she wants, and she will go off on anybody that's like, why are you doing that? That questions it. So, and so if the black woman feels entitled to being on an island of royalty all by herself. It's not about her having earned it, or does she even need to earn it? It's just that black women feel entitled to do what they want to do. And black women feel, this is my lived experience. To your point, Mr. Colors, this is what I hear from other people say. Black women, you should do what you're told. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and I hope you do it. I want you to fix on yourself. And when you start attracting a better group of men because you fixed on yourself, I want you to choose a man wisely. And then I want you to follow him. Let him be your leader. Trust your own choice. If you don't trust your choice in who you chose, who's going to? What's the pushback about? Don't choose him and then demonize him in the relationship, in the home, and to your people. But you chose him. The Bible says a double-minded what? Man is unstable in all his ways. Same thing for you, ladies. Now, to you fellas, I got to come down the road, man. Stop putting your middle in the middle if you're not ready to, go to all the way. The people's choice over here, Don Rico, the man's on there. He says he has 14 kids. What were you going to do with 14 kids, Don Rico? If it costs $375,000 to raise one child, from 0 to 18, if you're paying out of pocket, that's over $250,000. If you don't have $250,000 14 times, don't make 14 kids. Don't do that to our community. Don't do that to the moms. All right. There's nothing cool about that. Almost every guy I know from Chicago has more than 10 kids. Almost every one, to a man. And this is not a knock on Chicago. It's just what are they teaching them at a young age over there, to Mr. Color's point. So women, I'm telling you right now, but men, there's no way our culture, our community is gonna become strong again if we don't demand the right to lead, but do so by example first. Being an example of a person with a hard-working attitude. Being an example of how to treat a woman like she has value, even if she doesn't exhibit it. We have to be the heroes of our community, black men. We have to. There's really no getting around it. We know now why black men aren't marrying black women. So black men, what are we going to do about it? This is why I get to get on you. What are we going to do about it? Just toss them to the wind. The white boys can have them. The Latinos love some sisters, boy. I know they do. What are we going to do about it? How do we come together as men and say, look, ladies, if you have a body count over 10, then you have to find a guy in his 60s. He's gonna take care of that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough for you. But how do we come together and say, okay, but you women that don't have a super high body count, we want to rebuild this community with you. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. Don't and as far as a woman fixing on herself, if you have a midly high body count, are you getting counseling about that? Have you fasted and gone and what they call abstain? Have you abstained for a year or two from sex to prepare yourself for a husband? If you have right now, I'm gonna shoot it to you real. Ladies, if you have a body count over 10, but you want to get married, I would say sexually abstain from when you decide you want to get married until you marry a man. And if he can't understand that he isn't the man God intended for you.
Well, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
That goes all the way back to everything we're saying leads back to childhood dating. If you don't date when you're young, and I'm not saying don't date and just live your life. I'm talking about parents teaching kids about dating, how to date, what to look for in a person, what not to look for, how they need to be, what value do they bring to that person. If you have a daughter, what value do you bring to a man when you get old enough to do that? What value should you be looking for from a man when you get old enough to do that? If you do not let kids learn from, I heard people say, well, they need to know how it feels. They need to know what, and I'm like, the experience, what is all this experience stuff come from? If God says, teach a child, I heard Chrissy write it down there, teach a child in the way they should go. Teach, not let them experience it. Your job is to be a parent, and you are supposed to protect your child and prepare your child. You protect them, you provide for them, and you prepare them for adulthood. The things that they're doing are adult things. They're not adults. I don't know why society is so afraid to take their children and say, you're going to listen and you're going to learn and you're going to be great because you did listen and because you did trust me as a parent. But a lot of parents are they're not investing quality time into their children. They're not putting the time in. I have my daughters. I don't want any more kids. You know why? Because it was so much work that I put in that I did my job. Now, if I was just having children and let them run around and do whatever, I could have 5, 10 more kids because I don't have to work. But I work with my children. I teach them. We have conversations. My daughters call me every day. They're learning. They're grown. One's married. Some of them have children. Some of my last 2 are 20 and 18. And they still want to talk. They want to learn. They want to grow. You know why? Because that's all I've been doing since they were 1 year old.
But I'm saying you represent such a small population of our community right now, Mr. Cullors.
I do.
I mean, and not only that, and you're talking to a very beleaguered population. The single moms on here, I just put up here Chrissy Love. She said that she does know a friend that's pretty combative. So thank you to all the women out there who holding their female friends accountable. You know, that's important. What I want to say is, if I'm going to give you a now winning strategy, he's to the single moms. You can't teach a man how to be a man. You can have expectations of him and tell him that you know this is what a man should do, that, but you can't really give him the full measure. So I'm still going to tell you, ladies, single women of young children, quit fooling around, work on yourself, build some value up, attract a man up that appreciates your value, get married and have them kids have mom and dad at home. All right, that's the winning strategy for all the singles out there. Single fathers, same for you. Don't play games. Fix yourself, get healed from that relationship, whatever it was, that marriage, whatever it was, and have mom in the home for them kids. Mm-hmm. We want our community to have the nuclear black family, and we want to change this wealth gap. We want to build this from the ground up. So the winning strategy right now, it's true. What he's saying is true. Please do hold your kids accountable to being grown before they're grown, and definitely shoot them expectations and demand and live up to them. If your child, if you pay for their phone bill and they're playing video games at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning all night long while you're sleeping because you gotta go to work tomorrow and they're not doing nothing with their lives, switch that around. Make sure that your young people, to his word, are prepared. Prepare them, not just to go out and be on their own, but prepare them to be financially, solvent by entering into a marriage at whatever age, and being a good teammate, and their household being worth 9 times more than they were when they were single. And I made a good point. I know I did, to all of you. In a relationship, imagine that soon as you get married, that first paycheck. Imagine the paycheck you have now. Just if your boss gave you a paycheck, if the direct deposit was 9 times more than what it's been, how could you say no to that? How is that not a winning strategy? Taibu Muad'Dib, man, I want to talk about something nobody brought up so far this podcast.
Can I end this topic? I know you're changing. I just want to make it a simple way for people to remember how to raise their children. It's the 3P system.
Okay.
Provide, protect, and prepare. A lot of people provide and they protect, but they don't prepare. So if you want to remember how to raise your children, your responsibility as a father or a mother, your job is to provide, protect, and prepare. If you do that, and you do that with all your heart and with the help of God, you will raise good children.
Okay. Lady D said, trust me, I had 4 children by 4 different men, all adults now. My life is wonderful. I worked 2 to 3 jobs to raise them, and they're all married and homeowners. Praise God. So once again, I mean, the unicorn in our community does not represent our community.
Right.
It just doesn't. So we appreciate you for putting that out there, Lady D. You know, pat on the back to you, and we're glad your kids are healthy and strong and doing the right thing. But you know, what do you have to offer the discussion for the majority of the women out there that had 4 kids by 4 different men and are struggling with that situation? Let's hear from you on that level. But what I want to say right now is that no one is talking for some reason about the accountability in these relationships between black men and black women. If the black woman reserves the right and she's demanding the right to do what she wants to do, and the black man therefore can't be the leader because she won't allow it, she's wearing the pants, then you know what I'm saying, how do we discuss that, like that whole dynamic, like of the black woman having an attitude and you know having the baggage? That's my number one reason is her baggage. What advice do we have right now for couples that are fighting to stay together, for couples that are going through it and they're fighting, trying to, you know, make it last?
I mean, for me, it's being prepared. And if you weren't prepared, learning so that you can prepare for the next generation. I didn't have a dad to raise me, so I learned a lot from some of my ways I learned from the streets, but most of my ways, I feel like God became my father, and God started teaching me. He started whooping my butt. He started taking me out of bad positions, putting me in situations that I didn't want to be in, but they taught me how to grow, taught me how to be stronger. If these people are fighting for their relationships, it's a 3-way relationship. When a marriage is a husband and wife and the children, and when you add God into it, he'll teach you. But you have to want it. You have to want a better life for your children. You have to want a better life for yourself. And you have to do it with an open heart, not just out here playing games and being selfish and figuring out what's the best way that I can live my best life. Like you said, a lot of people are telling women to go live their best life. And on a personal level, one of my daughter's mothers was telling my youngest daughter at 18, it's time for her this is when she should be living her best life. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You think the best life is at 18? No, the best life should be in your 30s, 40s, 50s. You should be preparing for your best life, not living your best life, clubbing, partying, hanging out, laughing. Like, people are wasting their time, wasting their talent, wasting their opportunities, partying, kicking it, and having fun.
Man, you preaching to the choir. Go ahead.
So, I mean, trust me, I've done it from experience. Like you said, I played in the NFL, and during that time, I was not necessarily focused on the future. I was focusing on how much fun I could have now. So then when you get older, you realize that, though, I mean, I thank God, it's by the grace of God I'm in a good position. But if it were not for God, all the money that I blew on silly things, I would be in a bad situation. I'm not in as good a situation I could be in if I was more wise with my money. But again, was I prepared? No, I wasn't prepared. Nobody taught me growing up, when you make it to the NFL is just a bridge to your future. It's not forever. You can't play football forever. So take that opportunity and maximize that opportunity to the best way you can. So
right, leverage.
So when you get older, you can provide for your family. This is how relationships stay together, with a man and a woman who is focused on building great futures for themselves and their families. That you want to get the community right? You want to get the community right? Build yourself. And then 2 people who built themselves come together, build a family, build a future. That it don't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever.
Man,
you
look,
want to be successful. You want to have a better future. Build yourself. Find somebody else who built themselves. Come together. Build more. Build your family. Build your finances. Build your relationship with God. Build your relationship with people, and then you'll have a good life.
Well, you know that flies in the face of all the YOLO people out there, all the you only live once people out there that's partying for one night. What I want to say to directly address what you said though about building. Right now, I'm building this platform, this podcast space out. By tomorrow, I want to have 20 new clients that I'm helping. All right. We got Mr. Aaron Hicks up here, and he's talking about a couple of different things. Chrissy Love says she's not ready for a husband. She's definitely not ready for a husband. Chrissy, the coaching program is for you. So I'm glad this podcast brought you to my space. You can look at the screen, and it says, if you want to join my online coaching program, ask questions or submit special requests about the podcast. There's the phone number. There's the email address. Take advantage of it. All right. I want you to know that I'm now accessible and available to folks. The quick join route to my podcast is for you to go to patreon.com/Coach Taibu. I'm going to throw that up here in a minute. I want you all to know that you can just join in. Don't miss an episode. Don't miss any of my coaching tips and advice. Be a part of my coaching community. You can do it right now. And if you want to lose weight, you can get the goal leadership and training system there as well. So definitely you can join the coaching program by going directly to this Patreon link right here, patreon.com/Coach Taibu. Without question, I want to have 20 new clients by tomorrow. I want you all to go over there, swipe it, join it, become a part of the community. I want to have a positive impact in your life. If you don't have the book, Coach Taibu's Winning Strategies, you need to get that book, because once I'm done with this Transformation 6 coaching series, I'm going to release that book. Now, the Transformation 6 coaching series book won't have the power, Mr. Colors and everybody else, it won't have the power it should have to help you transform your life without being in a mindset to think strategy. Think strategy. Someone one time, Mr. Colors, asked me, what's different between a plan and a strategy? So I broke it down to him real quick. If you don't know the difference between a plan and a strategy, let me break it down for you. Because a plan is something that you just, as basically an ideal that you act on. Am I correct with that, Mr. Colors? And a plan.
A plan is what you're trying to accomplish. A strategy and a system is how it's going to be accomplished.
Okay. And that's all the more. So I use this example to many of my coaching clients in different podcasts. A plan is a man that has an anniversary coming up, and his plan is to take his girl out to dinner and a movie. That sounds a good plan to most people, right? Doesn't sound lazy at all, does it? The reason why that plan is inept is because you don't have an expected outcome. The difference between a plan and a strategy is when you strategize something out, you have activities that should lead you to expected outcome. The plan for dinner and movies, in the plan for dinner and movies, you just think that'll make her happy. That'll make her happy, Derek. You know what I'm saying? She'll be happy dinner and movie. She might come home from work, the worst day of her life. She don't want to eat dinner with you. She wants to put her feet up. She don't want to go see that movie. She heard it had bad reviews. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that dinner and a movie thing, and then you got the nerve to be upset with her. You know, like it's her fault that she tripping. So that's just that was a whole fight over nothing. Now, the strategy for that anniversary, and this is what I will teach you on my coaching program. The strategy is the brother that spends the week or 2 weeks prior probing her, asking her questions. Anniversary's coming. Sweetheart, what was that movie you wanted to watch again? Sweetheart, you said your favorite meal is what again? Okay, with what on it? He's doing his research. Any plan without research is probably gonna not give you. You don't have an expected outcome for it. How can you? Right? There's no probability at all. I'm just gonna do it. So you just throw it on the wall and hope it makes a painting. The man is getting, he's getting the information correct. What does he do? He calls downtown. I'm in Dallas. He called downtown. Yo, let me get the horse and carriage. He goes to the restaurant, wants to take her to eat, and meets the manager. Sir, I want you to serve me and my wife. Here's a couple $100. I want you to serve us so you get the best service. He goes to a restaurant that has open air music, a live band, or the people that go around and play music for you and sing to you. Let me tell you something, people. I don't care how bad her day at work was or how bad the kids acted up. By the time she sees that bouquet and gets into that carriage and she's being drawn, everybody can see her and everybody's waving and smiling and honking, that's all gone. And if that don't work, when you're greeted at the restaurant, had the finest table by the manager, and he's serving you himself, the best customer service possible in the restaurant, her favorite meal being served, I get it, honey. I'm going to order for you. Come on now. There's no, and if that doesn't work, the carriage ride back to the car. She ate, she's cool, maybe a glass of wine. I'm telling you, that first plan, that could go bust 1,000 different ways. Strategizing out the anniversary little situation, by the time you get in the door, it's like Sex in the City. She tearing everything off, buttons is flying. I kid you not. You should treat your finances like that. You should treat your fitness like that. You should treat your family like that. A winning strategy, your life deserves a winning strategy. Your wife deserves it, men. Your kids deserve it, mom. Have a winning strategy. To his point, have a winning strategy for how you're raising these young people. If you want to be proud of your young people, prepare them for what's coming next. And I guarantee you, they're going to shock you with how good they do. It's Taibu Muad'Dib right here. I'm going to let my man, Mr. Derek Colors, break down whatever he wants to. He has his own platform. Did you launch your program yet?
The program that I have is still in the works.
What's it called again?
You're talking about the which program you talking about? I got a couple programs. You're talking about
so on the podcast we did about men and fatherhood, you bought the program out to me.
Yeah. See that program, we're still working on that program. I had some things, I got my Bad Bodies brand that I've been really pushing. So they kind of put the other program on the back burner. So that's still in the works. But that program is designed to teach. And this is something that a lot of people, I suggest when I do get it out, of course, my man we're going to present it to you guys. But I really care about the men. I care about the men and the women. But in order for the women to be better, I think that the men play a part in it. So I have a program that I'm putting together for men to teach them how to be better spiritual leaders, be better high character men, be loving and faithful husbands, committed and dedicated fathers, and successful career and businessmen. Those are the 5 areas that I'm doing. And then I throw in a little fitness. So if you want to put that 6th one in there, fitness plays a big part in the way men think, the strength that they develop. So I'm putting together a program where men can get that program and then they can be coached up by me. And if my man, somebody want to contact him the same way, we're in this together. I want this world to be better. And I know I can do my part as a man, and I can do my part by teaching my daughters what men expect and what they want, and my daughters what they expect and what they want from a man. Because I don't want my daughters marrying a man who's not going to bring value to their lives, and I don't want a man to have to deal with my daughters if my daughter's not bringing value to their lives. If everybody would get out their selfish state and start being in a more caring and loving mindset, everybody gets what they want. So my programs are designed to create and build on spiritual values, personal character values, and every responsibility that a man is supposed to have in his life. And I'll definitely let you know when that is ready, because I hope a lot of people take note and understand that the Black community can be better, but we got to put in the work.
Man, let me tell you something. Make sure you slap yourself if you just missed that. That brother dropped it down. That brother put it down. That program right there, and like I was saying earlier in the podcast, single moms, if you have young black men that you're raising and you don't know what to do anymore, you lost control, whatever, don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till they're 6'2" and they got dreads and you know what I'm saying, they stick their little chest out, you know what I'm saying. When they 8 years old, you see
1 years old. One.
I don't know.
Do not let your kids develop bad habits and try to break them. It's easier to create a habit than to break a habit. So if you start
to create a habit than to break a habit. So I mean, he wants you put the sons on the program at 1. If he leaves right away at 1 years old, get the program. I'll take him from 8 and up. From 8 and up, I'll work with him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even tripping. But the bottom line is, I challenge all the young brothers, man, to make yourself accessible to real men. Don't scoff at that. Just because mom's letting you be a punk and be a chump and not do nothing with your life, it doesn't mean that's the right way to live your life. I'm telling you right now. And someone down the line, it might not be the man that she dates or the man that comes home or man she brings home, the man she marries that's not your dad. But someone down the line, someone gonna look you in your face and tell you that's not what's up. And that's not gonna be the person you want to hear it from.
Right.
But shout out to my man. Look, get that going, man. We need more. And if you're a black man out there and you want to be involved and have these things going that way, then make sure that you tap in. You see the information. It's not just for the coaching program. I'm willing to coach and speak at your school, at your place of business, not to talk relationships about the black community, so to speak. But I'm a coach that coaches winning strategies. So if your company, place of business, community organization wants a boost, Coach Taibu is the guy for you. Just reach out to me. Let me know what the situation is. Give me some of the criteria. I'll come through and I'll knock it out the park. What I do want to say in closing, Mr. Colors, is I really appreciate you for popping up, man. So many people reached out to me, back to me. They said they wanted to be on, they didn't show up. Shout out to everybody that's making comments and questions and concerns and watching the whole podcast. I want you to know that season 2 of Live Your Truth is going to be the most engaging one ever so far. Season 1, it was fantastic, but I'm going to do more engagement. I'm going to bring you on to my coaching program right after this show. So if you appreciate or believe that I'm the right coach for you, go over to YouTube and look at the screen or go to the description, book your call with me. Let's get it done. I want to be your coach.
I'm sorry. Can I give some of my information in case a person want to reach me?
No. All you got to do is type it to me. I'll copy and paste it and post it right here, and I'll put it on the banner. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
You can use the private chat, and I'll just go ahead and copy and paste it, and I'll stream it across the stream so anybody that watched the podcast can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we both, I know you do, I know you're good at what you do. We both do personal training, so if you need,
hold on. You can't. Hey, look, I'm not personal training nobody else that doesn't take my coaching program. I'm not going to do y'all like that. I had a person drop 15 pounds in like 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It was good 15 pounds because they couldn't put it back on because they had 2 pounds of lean muscle. But I saw them 4 months later. They got out the program. Saw them 4 months later. They got a nice little pudge. Chin came back. I didn't change the mindset. I said I never let it happen again. That person, still loves me and loves what we did, and enjoys a couple of months being in shape. But I'm just saying, I won't let y'all down. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna say you're wasting your money by getting in shape for a wedding or for a trip. But I'm just saying I would rather have that lasting effect on you, and you bring people to my program because you continue to live a healthy lifestyle, healthy body, mind, and soul, than for you to feel good for a little while, then duck and dodge me for a year. Duck and dodge me for a whole year. Like, he called my phone. But Jay, I mean, the bottom line is he's going to get the information on here. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for your comments. Chrissy Love, Deirdre, Mr. Aaron Hicks, who says both parties are coming from a hurt place and trauma has to be faced before you can have a healthy relationship. Discussing trauma is something that I have, I think, 3 different coach curriculums on how to deal with trauma. So if that's something you want to deal with and try to get over it, we can get it done in 6 months. We can get it done in 6 months. So and believe, but you have to believe in it though. Don't act like it can't happen. The only thing that I have to do to help a person that's really dealing with trauma and wants to get over it and wants to heal is I have to get them committed to working on themselves. Because we all know you can't change the past. So if you won't let go of the past, then there's no coaching program in the world that can help you. But if I can convince you to work on yourself with me, you'll like what you produce and you'll be happy from then on. You got something for me? Okay, I just got the information in over here, man, from Mr. Derek Colors, former NFL player. Copying and pasting this thing, man, right here. Check him out on IG. We'll get it popping. Check him out on IG. We appreciate him for joining us. Man, you're welcome anytime on these panels. The reason, I mean, I get different ideals from my podcast, but generally speaking, tonight I do have the opportunity to give you my coaching and speaking and my podcast schedule for the month of August. So I'm notorious for not starting on time or not doing it, but I finally have my activities in order so that I can get you what you need. So join the coaching program right now, Transformation 6, getting on my coach community, having my emails sent out to you. You don't want to miss the tips and advice and the almost daily inspirational offer when I coach and speak to folks. So you want to be a part of my coaching community. First Step Coaching on Facebook, Coach Taibu on Instagram and on TikTok. It's all over the place. And again, right here, Taibu Muad'Dib on YouTube. So 2025 is my year. It really is. I'm stepping out. Everything's going to be monetized. I'll be a lot more expensive. So I'm encouraging all of you right now, especially all of you that didn't hit your summer goals. Don't waste the whole year. Join my coaching program now, and I'll have you running on all cylinders by January 1st. If you want 2025 to be amazing, don't make it so because you're going with your girlfriends on a trip or a cruise. Don't make it so because, you know what I'm saying, your tax is going to be coming. Be a new version of yourself with the coaching and speaking from you'll get from Taibu Muad'Dib. Does that look good? Can you see it over there? Let me go ahead and show it to everybody. Bam, there it is. IG, Derek Colors Speaks, and Derek Colors at IG. You want to go ahead and knock that out, man. Everybody, it is what it is. Facebook, Derek Colors as well. You know the vibes. So reach out to the young brother, man. He's doing big things. He's getting the leadership program together for Black men. It's going down. I want everybody to be happy with their figure, their finances, and their family. That's definitely something I wish for all of you. How do we get there? Effort, focus, and commitment. It is what it is. Effort, focus, and commitment. So I got this banner on here. Mr. Derek Colors, everybody, IG. Derek Colors on Facebook. Let's go. Man, it was a good time, man. What you think? What you think? We did a good job?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
okay.
We did good, man.
They got something out of it. I'm a screen share one a homeboy one more time. Bam, snap. bro, snap. Give me a couple more seconds. Yeah, fam, he snapped. I like how he put that thing down there. We going and this is just and look, like I said, this is live your truth, man. So make sure that moving forward, if you want these screen shares, any information I put, these statistics, any information that I put on my show, if you want something, man, you don't have to do in the coaching program. Just reach out to me and I'll hook it up for you. All right. Mr. Derek Colors, everybody. I'm gonna share the screen one more time. We're gonna go out with this message from my man up here in Milwaukee, Instagram, doing this thing. Let's make it happen. Oh yeah.
Thing for women, because what happens is women are telling a woman, girl, go out and live your life. So she's gonna go out and live her life. She's gonna fuck 20, 23, 27, 30, 35. Then she's gonna get party and be like, damn, I want to get married. And the men that wanted you at 20, that want to marry you when you were 20, they no longer want you. They want the younger female. And so now a lot of women are bitter and mean and get on these platforms and get on YouTube. I can't find a man. They ain't shit. They ain't shit because you ain't shit pussy. I'm tired of going to parent-teacher conferences with my son and I'm seeing all these women line up down the hallway stressed out, leaning over on the fucking wall because they don't have no man. They made a mistake 12 years ago, 13 years ago, had a one-night stand after the club, but fucked the dude that they said, oh, I can only just fucking once. And now we have 70% of black moms that don't have a man, and these boys are being raised by women. And now these women have turned these boys into son husbands. And now they don't make them clean up. They don't have no structure. They don't go outside and play. They don't do nothing but sit on their asses. And then when they get older, they become the same men that their mamas hate. They're out here being Pookie and Ray Ray fucking all the females, depending on females to take care of them. It's a shame that these boys are being raised by these single moms and they taking up on the feminine characteristics of their fucking mama.
Feminine characteristics. This is ridiculousness. But again, Coach Taibu, man, we killed it today. We now know why black men are not marrying black women. We talked about winning strategies to get the thing together. I myself, Mr. Derek Colors, former NFL player, we came together to get this thing done. Any questions or concerns you might have about this podcast tonight, remember, it was brought to you courtesy of First Step Coaching. I am a life coach. I've been doing it for over 3 years now, podcasting for almost 4 years now. I enjoy what I do, so I bring that vibe to you. Mr. Derek Colors, man, I really appreciate you giving me your time. Like I said, as soon as you get that program going, you're local here to Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Lancaster right now.
Okay, yeah. So we have to get together, man, and we have to make sure that we're speaking out on some of these issues because clearly, with everybody that joined today, this needs to be talked about and discussed. People wanted to air their thoughts, and like Chrissy was, Deirdre was, women are out here being told. I didn't even address that. So women, if you're being told that you're intimidating or you're too independent, he's the wrong guy. So I'm glad you didn't lock down with him. He wants to control you and be a son husband. He's definitely a son husband. Give me a woman that knows how to go to work and come home and doesn't mind cooking and cleaning sometimes because I don't mind doing it either. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that done properly. Man, I'm telling you right now, yes, we got to get out here in the community, bro, and speak. I'm going to get my circuit going. Hey, hold on, fam. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, we got to get out here and make sure the community knows that there are real black men out here, man, advocating for the sisters. Sisters, we're your heroes. Trust me. If it's one thing Taibu is going to do, he's going to encourage the black man to be the black woman's hero, to be there for you, be there with you, and stick it out with you. We're going to get it done together. All right? Mr. Colors, let it go, man. We killed it today. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. You my hero today, man. You jumped in here for me. If you want to be a panel member, man, hit me up with this brother right here. Join the panel. I got like 10 seats. We can all get in here and get it done. Live Your Truth is sponsored by First Step Coaching Program. And remember, Mr. Colors, if you overcome today's obstacles, tomorrow will feel like paradise. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and kill the vibe. But you know me, and we can hang out and kick it here after the show. We can just kick it in the ballroom.